Good morning. It's 9 a.m. Friday, October 18th, 2024. Welcome to the Good News Live at 9 on Facebook and later available on our YouTube channel. Please comment in the chat so we know you're with us. This is a presentation of the Allen Park Presbyterian Church. Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Maxey. I'm an elder at Allen Park Pres. And my co-host, Carrie Van, well, among other things, she's the moderator of the deacons, which is really important this week, and you'll find out later why. She's a certified social media expert, and she's the communications manager at our church. So she gets around. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning, Suzanne, and good morning to everyone who's watching. Now I'm nervous about being a deacon moderator.
Yeah.
Just joking. Just joking. So good morning to everyone. I think it's going to be a wonderful weekend. We should all be excited about that.
Good weather. That's
Yes,
always the nicest time of year.
Yes, good weather. Good weather is on the horizon, so that is super exciting. It's been a little cold at night.
Oh, yeah.
Been a little cold at night.
So what do we got going on at church? Because we have a guest today, so we need to.
Yes, we got to be
Yeah.
chop, chop, chop. Yes, tonight is game night. I thought it was last week, but it is tonight. Good thing I did not go to the church and wonder where everyone was. We had a record-breaking amount of people last week, and we all had a ton of fun. So if you're looking for something to do, come on up and join us tonight. Sue and I will both be there. Not that that matters, but we're fun. We're not rock stars. We're not rock stars or anything, but I will force you to have a good time if that's within reason. So 7 o'clock tonight. And I've been anxiously watching the weather for trunk or treat. And my everyday, a little farther in my weather, and it's looking hopeful. So we just pray that it's going to be great and the weather will be wonderful. Better the weather, the more candy we need, but that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
We're doing really good. We've had some last minute candy stuff donations come in, hoping a lot of people bring stuff to the church. We're getting there slowly but surely. And we do have some room for some more volunteers. If you just want to grab your outdoor chair and be a corner guard, easy, fun job. Get to watch the trunk or treaters and just be an informational host.
Say hi to people.
Say hi to people, be friendly. And we have 36 trunks this year, Sue. That's the most we've ever had. So we are pretty excited about that. Lots of church members, friends of the church, businesses, fire trucks, police department. It's gonna be fun. I can't believe it's almost here. I've been talking about it forever.
And it's like next Friday.
It's next Friday. And then
next Friday. Yeah.
Then to complicate things further, we have a big event going on at the church the following morning at 9:30 in the morning.
I
So
know.
I gotta make sure I don't
busy.
Gotta make sure I don't wear any weird black permanent makeup for trunk or treat because it's gonna
You
be
can't take off
embarrassing.
Saturday.
It's a Downriver Presbyterian Church event. It's called Hospitality in an Impersonal Culture from Stranger to Belonging. And it's how not to be weird when you're welcoming people.
Yeah.
How do you include people in church? How do you greet people? How do you make meaningful connections? So all the pastors will be there, 9:30 to 11:30. So we hope you will come. It's at our church.
Is it in the parlor or is it in the fellowship hall?
I believe it's in the fellowship hall.
Okay.
But I will post more about that as soon as I learn all the details. We're still planning the last minute details. But I think it's in the fellowship hall. So I will definitely let you know.
All right. The Allen Park Library's 23rd annual Haunted Library Story Walk is tomorrow at
Yes.
10:30 to noon. And I believe I have a picture here to share. Yes, I do.
Yep, and the library will also be participating in our trunk or treat. So I'm sure there's people watching who have been or taken their children to this annual haunted library walk. And it's children 3 to 10, and it should be fantastic weather. So go ahead and support the library and have a good time over there. That's 10:30 to noon.
And be sure to say hello to their therapy dog, Brooks.
I know it's worth going just to pet the dog.
I know.
Absolutely. And farmers market, it's whittling down. We got this Friday and next Friday, and then they are off for the season. They have 2 food trucks this week, Snow Biz Delight, which will be at the Trunk or Treat, and Hibachi House. Good food and lots of vendors. You need to stock up this week and next week. Or find these vendors at local craft fairs. That's the sad part about winter. We need to make it through all the way till next April when it starts back up.
Yeah. Be
All
sure to
right.
stop by and see our buddy Steve and get a balloon animal.
Absolutely. They make a lot of balloons. Make a lot of balloons. Great group of guys that do that. And of course, we love Steve. Anyways, we have a guest, like Sue said, so we don't want to mess around too long. We think this is a very important topic. Our very own Carolyn Maringer, who owns and operates Michigan, our assisted living locators, Metro Detroit. She works with a lot of people. She's probably helped many of you watching. She's a wonderful person all the way around. Told us about some Medicare changes that are happening in 2025. And some of it is good and some of it could not be so good regarding prescriptions. So she recommended our guest, which you could go ahead and let him in, Sue. Our guest, who is Michael Bobo, and he will be joining us today. Michael is from Beachwood Consulting LLC, and he is a Medicare expert, and we are so happy to have him today. Welcome, Michael.
Hi,
Good
good
morning.
morning. How you all doing today?
We are
Good.
doing great.
That's wonderful. I really appreciate you having me on today.
Well, we appreciate you signing up within 5 minutes of Carolyn asking you and us connecting. If all our guests could do that, that would be
That
fantastic.
would be
Yeah,
great.
it's a great opportunity. So anytime I get to talk to people to be able to help them with their Medicare is an opportunity for me. So I always jump at the opportunity.
That's
Yeah.
really great to hear because Carolyn contacted us and said, you really need to do a show about this because there's a lot of things coming and it's not too soon to start talking about it.
Yeah, very true.
Open
Very true.
enrollment's already started, right?
It has. Yep, October 15th. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on and what we need to be looking out for and what we should be doing.
Okay. So this again is open enrollment. It goes from October 15th until December 7th. And so this is the time where Medicare allows you to make changes to your plan. And you can make as many changes as you want. So you can select go from plan to plan and select whatever plan you want. However, the plan that you have on December 7th is the plan that will start January 1st. And so you can make as many changes as you want, but the last one is going to be the one that becomes effective January 1st. And so next year, there are going to be several changes that are going to be taking place. The biggest change is going to be the change in prescription drug costs. And so through the Inflation Reduction Act that was signed into law, there's going to be a cap on what seniors pay for their prescription drugs. So starting January 1st, you will no longer have to pay that reach that $8,000 max before you no longer pay anything. That maximum is going to be $2,000. All right, so that's going to be great, yeah, for a lot of seniors, especially seniors that spend a lot of money on prescriptions. Once they hit that $2,000 cap, they don't spend anything else for the rest of the year. However, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's like just if you have Medicare, because I don't understand. I remember my mom talking about Part A, Part B, Part C. So
Yes.
go ahead,
So
explain.
this is for Part D. So Part D is going to be for people who have just straight Medicare. You will need a Part D plan to cover your prescription drugs. Or if you have an Advantage plan, typically a Part D plan is going to be included with most Advantage plans. And so this kind of affects everyone who has Medicare. Even if you don't have an Advantage plan, you still need a Part D plan. And so anyone who's on a Part D plan, they're going to have a $2,000 cap on all of their prescriptions. And so that's a great thing, obviously, because it's going to help seniors, be able to manage their costs better. But the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies are the ones that are going to be paying for those prescriptions once the customer reaches that max. And so the insurance company has to pay more money, and they're also receiving less money from the federal government. And so next year, we are seeing that number one, they are raising copays for certain prescriptions, and then they are not covering certain prescriptions. And so I've seen some insurance companies switch from a name brand to a generic, and they're no longer covering the name brand prescription anymore, which means anyone that has that prescription either has to get their prescription changed by their doctor or select a different plan. And so the one thing you don't want to do is wait until January to find out that your insurance company no longer covers your prescription, or that your prescription has tripled in cost as far as the copay. And so that's why I'm trying to get as many seniors as I can to do a Medicare review. And during a Medicare review, what we'll do is we'll look at your prescriptions, we'll look at your doctors, and then we'll make sure that the plan that you have covers everything that you need. Because not only does the plans change, but we change, right? Our doctors change, our prescriptions change, our medical situation changes. And so the plan that we selected 3 or 4 years ago may have been perfect back then, but does it meet our needs right now? Also, what we'll do is we'll compare the cost between your current plan and other plans that are available to the public to make sure that you're getting the absolute lowest prescription drug price, as well as the highest level of benefits. The second thing that we're seeing is that insurance companies, not only are they raising copays or just dropping certain prescriptions, they're cutting benefits. And so what that means is if you had $2,500 for dental in 2024, you might only have $2,000 for dental in 2025, or you might have $1,500 for dental in 2025. You might have had transportation in 2024, where in 2025 you might not have transportation anymore. You might have a higher copay for your maximum out of pocket. I've seen that not across the board, but I've seen it with a lot of plans where they're raising your maximum out of pocket. They're also raising that inpatient copay, where if you get admitted into the hospital, it's a daily copay that you have. And so a lot of insurance companies are raising that copay. And so again, when you do a Medicare review, we go over every single copay so that if you do have to go to the emergency room, or if you do need to go see your dentist, or if you need an eye doctor appointment, or if you need transportation, you'll know if your plan covers these things or if you need to make a change. And so they usually take about an hour, depending on how many medications and how many doctors you have. But I am trying to basically get the word out, because every year you should do this, but this year it is vitally important that we, look at our benefits and make sure that we know what we're going to have before January 1st.
Right, and I will put links in our chat on how you can get a hold of Michael to have this. It's a free consultation as
Absolutely.
well, right?
Yep,
Right.
100% free.
And so what you're saying is, even though you're past 65 and you've been doing this, it could be vastly different if you're not paying attention.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so the thing about Advantage plans in particular, this is true for prescription drug plans, but with Advantage plans in particular, which is also Part C, they change every year. Something about the plan changes every year. It may be the copay, or it may be the dollar amount that you receive for your vision benefit or your dental benefit. It may be your gym membership. It may switch networks, or your doctor may no longer be in network. So something changes every year. And so you do want to do a Medicare review annually. And every year they send out the Medicare and You booklet. It's about this thick.
Like
And I don't
everybody
know.
reads it cover to cover, don't they?
Exactly, exactly. And in that booklet, they tell you that you should do a review of your benefits every year, right? But typically people, when we select something, healthcare is the last thing we want to talk about, right? And so I kind of compare it to going to the dentist. It's something that nobody wants to do, but we need to do at least once a year, right? And so like I said, it takes typically 45 minutes to an hour. But it's very important to do that, because I get calls every January And they asked me, why did my prescription go up? And I said, well, I was trying to schedule that appointment with you. You know, we could have went over this. And so, you know, once January hits, that's when people start to find out what's covered and not covered because they're trying to use their benefits and they realize that some things have changed. And so, you know, it's best to get ahead of that. Um, Even look at it from this perspective. Let's say you want to go see your dentist to get something done and you have $3,000 worth of dental coverage this year, but it's going to go down to $2,000 next year. If you know that, you can go to your dentist and say, hey, I need to get this done before December 31st so that I can use the greater amount of benefits before that goes away. And so even just understanding from that perspective, it will help for you to be able to plan, you know, how to use your benefits.
Right, and like you said, December 7th was gonna come up before you know it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
some of these things already started happening? Or
Um,
will they not happen until January 1st?
Yeah, so the changes will become effective January 1st. And so that's going to be that $2,000 cap on prescription drug costs. That's going to become effective January 1st. Also, another great thing is that the income limit for extra help will go up. So more people will qualify for extra help. And what extra help is a program through the Social Security that allows seniors to have a very low cap on their prescription drug costs. So it wouldn't matter if the copay for a particular prescription was $20, $30, $50. If they apply and are accepted into extra help, their copay may be $4, depending on the level that they qualify for. Yeah. And so that is going to be going up next year. And then, like I said, all of the changes that the individual insurance companies make, those changes will become effective January 1st as well. So nothing changes until January 1st.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the cap thing, I know there was something called the donut hole. That this
Yes.
new act kind of eliminated that.
It's gone.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
Oh
It
my
is
goodness,
gone.
my mother,
Yeah.
my mother talked about that
Yeah.
so much. I never really
Yeah.
understood it, but it was like every week she talked about this donut hole and
Yeah.
that's gone. That's probably a good thing. You
Yeah.
understand it.
So it's been closing year by year. So I think in 2020 is when they changed the donut hole from customers having to pay 100% of the cost of their medications. Last year it was 25%. This year is 25%. Next year is zero. Once you reach that $2,000 cap, you don't pay a penny. That's it.
So that part is really good, but
It is. Yeah.
like you said, they kind of take away the goodness of it by changing other things, and that's really what you need to be aware of.
Absolutely.
insurance
Yeah.
companies are trying to make up what they're losing other
Exactly.
ways, so.
Exactly. Yeah, it's you know, it's expected because at the end of the day, insurance companies they want to make money. Right. Yeah. So, and what I always tell my clients and my customers is, you know, you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best situation possible. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect insurance plan. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist. But you do want to make sure that you're looking at your options because these companies are very competitive. And so, although they are changing some things, they're not going to just make their plan, you know, to the point where nobody wants to enroll in it. So, there are still going to be competitive plans out there. You just have to, you know, do the review and we can look at those plans based off of which plans are covering your prescriptions and which plan covers your doctors. That kind of narrows it down to probably 3 or 4 plans. And then we can look at those plans and find out which one of these plans are going to offer you the benefits that you know you're going to need and in the next year, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, because it's rather mind-boggling to go through insurance plans, and especially if you have to get them on your own.
Oh
And
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
mind-boggling to try to
Yeah.
decide what.
Yeah.
And then, okay, what happens? I think you're supposed to sign up 3 months in advance before your 65th birthday for, what if your birthday's in June? How do you handle this open enrollment?
Yep. So, someone who is just turning 65, they have an initial enrollment period. And so that initial enrollment period is a 7-month window. So you have 3 months before your 65th birthday your 65th birth month and then 3 months after your 65th birthday to enroll into not only Medicare, but a Medicare Advantage plan or a supplement plan and a prescription drug plan. And so everything that you need to do with Medicare, you can do that during your initial enrollment period. So you have 7 months. Typically, if you are receiving Social Security, you're automatically going to be enrolled into Medicare. If you're not receiving Social Security, if you're still working, then you will have to enroll through either the Social Security website, or you can do it through Medicare.gov. Or you can just give me a call and I can kind of help you go through that process. But yes, if you're not receiving Social Security, then you have to do it manually. But once you do that, then you have the option of either doing a supplement plan or a Medicare Advantage plan. Then you will also need to select a Part D plan, which is a prescription drug plan. But again, you have 7 months. Yes.
Can you explain what the difference is between the Advantage plans and the supplemental plans?
Yes. So usually trying to explain the differences takes about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna try to do it very quickly. So the biggest difference between a supplement plan and an advantage plan, there are a lot of big differences. The biggest difference financially is going to be that a supplement plan has a premium. And so when you're turning 65, and let's say there's a lot of different options for supplements, but let's say you go with a plan G and you're just turning 65, you could pay anywhere between $150 to $200 a month for your supplement plan. Whereas with an advantage plan, typically you're going to pay $0 a month for your advantage plan. And so with a supplement plan, it operates more like traditional healthcare that you're used to on your job. You pay a monthly premium when you go to your doctor. Once you meet your deductible, you don't pay anything else. You don't get any bills. You don't have to worry about co-pays. You just go to the doctor. If you need an emergency room, you go to the emergency room. If you need a surgery, you get your surgery. You don't get any bills. With an advantage plan, you don't pay anything up front, so you're not paying a monthly premium, but you are paying on the back end. And so when you go to your doctor, you don't pay anything. But if you go to a specialist, you're going to pay a copay for a specialist. If you go to the emergency room, you're going to pay a copay for the emergency room. If you have surgery, you're going to pay a copay for that surgery. And so you're paying on the back end rather than the front end. The second biggest difference with Advantage plan versus a supplement plan is with a supplement plan, you can go to any doctor in the United States that accepts Medicare. Doesn't matter if they're in network, out of network, there's no network. As long as they accept Medicare, they will accept your supplement plan. With an Advantage plan, there are networks. And so some Advantage plans do allow you to go outside of network, but you pay a higher copay when you do go outside of network. And so they want to encourage you to stay in network, but they do give you the option of going out of network. You just have to pay a higher price. The next difference is going to be that supplement plans are portable, meaning that you can move if you live in Michigan for 6 months of the year and you want to move to Florida for the winter. You can do that and not change your plan and still see any doctor that you want to. As where with Medicare Advantage plans, they are localized. And so if you move from Wayne County to Washtenaw County, you may have to change your plan because the plan offered in Wayne County may not be offered in Washtenaw County. And so they are based off of the counties that you live in. And so it's not portable. So if you move, you may potentially have to change your plan. Another big difference is that with a supplement plan, your doctor, if he says you need hip replacement, they're not going to ask any questions. They will approve the hip replacement and Medicare will pay for it. With an Advantage plan, you have to get a pre-authorization for that hip replacement, meaning that the doctor will have to give just cause as to why this hip replacement is needed. Now, some people think that not having a pre-authorization is great. They just want their doctor to be able to make whatever recommendation is needed and Medicare is going to pay for it. Some people, they feel like having a prior authorization is good because, they may not need a hip replacement. They just may need physical therapy, right? And so it kind of depends. That's more of a personal preference issue. But I do let people know that when you sign up for Advantage plans, there are prior authorizations, not just for procedures, but also for certain medications as well. So if it's an expensive medication that your doctor is prescribing, the insurance company may say, well, have you tried these other medications first? And if you have, then they will typically approve it. But if you haven't, they're going to have you go through this step process before they approve that higher cost medication. Yeah, so those
So,
are the major differences. There are a couple others, like with an Advantage plan, there's a lot of extras included. So typically you're going to get dental, vision, hearing, over-the-counter benefits. You're going to get a gym membership. Some plans include transportation. Some plans will offer you money for groceries and utilities. Some plans will even put money back into your Social Security. I know a lot of people see those commercials on TV. Each one of those plans are going to be specific to the individual. So one plan that offers dental, vision, and hearing with over-the-counter and prescription drug coverage, as well as grocery benefits. Another plan may not offer that prescription drug coverage, and it may not offer the grocery benefit, but it still may be right for you as an individual. And so it really depends on your particular needs. And that's why I tell people, don't just go off of word of mouth, because what works for one person may not work for you, because you're going to have different doctors, you're going to have different health situation, you're going to have different prescriptions, and you have a different income. And so one plan does not fit all when it comes to Medicare.
all right, we do have a comment in the chat from Gail. She said, you are paying a premium. It's taking your Part B. Advantage pay as you go. So costs spike when you need help, and supplements pay each month, and cost stays level, as you said, and no cost after deductible. Doing a good job explaining this, but you are paying for Advantage plan too.
Well, so you don't pay for the Advantage plan. You pay your Part B premium. So regardless of if you choose an Advantage plan or if you don't choose an Advantage plan, you still have to pay your Part B premium. But they're not charging you something on top of your Part B premium. And so there is no monthly premium for an Advantage plan. And so even if you have a supplement plan, the premium that you're paying for your supplement plan is on top of the Part B premium. And so next year the Part B premium is going up to $185, I believe. Right now it's 174. So it's going up a little bit. But yeah, so you pay your Part B premium on top of the monthly premium that you're paying for your supplement plan. And then also supplement plans, the cost of that plan goes up every year. And so it might start off as $150. By the time you're 85, it may be $400, $500. Exactly. So it does go up every year. So that cost does not stay stable. But with Advantage plans, typically there is a $0 plan. You don't pay anything for it. Unless you look at it from the perspective of your tax dollars are paying for it. So from that perspective, yes, we're all paying for it. But you don't pay an out-of-pocket premium for an Advantage plan unless you choose a plan that has an out-of-pocket premium. I would say about 10% of Advantage plans have a premium, but the majority of Advantage plans don't have premiums.
All right, so you have to figure all of this out before December 7th or 6th?
Well, what I do, if I have a client who is brand new to Medicare, I go over all of this in a intro to Medicare appointment. And so I explain the enrollment periods. I explain the difference between supplement and Advantage plans. I explain the different programs that you can qualify for based off of, like your income or based off of your medical condition, or even if you're a veteran. There are different programs for veterans. And so I kind of go over all of the options, go over all the information. If I've met you and you're brand new to Medicare, if you're not new to Medicare and you already have it, then typically you've already made a selection between a supplement and an Advantage plan. If you've already made if you already have an Advantage plan, then I show you what your options are as far as Advantage plans. If you already have a supplement plan, typically I tell people, if you have a supplement, don't change it unless it's unaffordable. Because once you have a supplement plan, it's for life. They cannot disenroll you unless you don't pay your premiums. That's the only reason they can disenroll you. And so if you have it, keep it. unless it's unaffordable. Now, if it's unaffordable, then we can talk about different options. But as long as you can afford the monthly premiums, keep it. And so we can just at that point talk about what your prescription drug plan is, making sure that your prescription drugs are covered under your Part D plan.
All right, Michael, people want to know how they can set an appointment with you. What's the best way that works for you?
So you can go to my website and press the contact me button and schedule an appointment. That way you can give me a call. My phone number is 586-209-3663. And you can give me a call that way. However, you will have to leave a message because I have like 5 appointments just today. So I probably won't be able to answer, but if you leave me a message, I promise I will call you back and then we can schedule an appointment. Or you can contact me on Facebook through the messenger if you would like as well. Do you have my links for?
Yeah, I put up
Okay.
your phone number, which hopefully you won't get weird calls, and then I put up a link to your contact page on your website.
Okay, perfect.
So probably that's the best way. Just don't be nervous. Just send it through there, and
Yeah,
Michael will get back to you.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
this has been super. Like I don't know, my stomach actually hurts because thinking about all of this for people, this is a lot to deal
And
with.
you're not even close to signing up yet. Wait till you are. Your
So,
head will spin.
yeah, yeah, it does. It seems really crazy, and we're starting to run out of time. And this has been super informative. People watch our show later. It'll be
Mhm.
uploaded to our YouTube, which we can share.
Okay.
And fun fact, I learned that you're also a minister in your church.
Yes, I am. Yes. So I've been a minister. I've been licensed for 2 years, but minister in training I started about 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah, one of the hardest decisions I've ever made, but for sure one of the best decisions I've made. Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, this has been super, super helpful, and we will share this information again with others. If they, and like I said, it's a free consultation. You do
Absolutely.
this, there's no cost to
Yeah.
do this, correct?
Absolutely.
And
No cost at all.
yep, so there's no, yep, somebody said we're doing this now. So,
Yeah,
so,
that's
all
good.
right,
100%,
good.
like you said, it's going to be here before you know it.
It always comes so quick. I mean, yeah. So,
Well,
you
I mean,
know,
it's already happening, and for anybody who's gonna be turning 65, this is insurance is confusing to begin with.
it
Oh,
is. It
And I
is.
mean, if somebody
Yeah.
can sit there and help you and they're not like you got to be careful who you talk to too,
It
because
is absolutely, absolutely. And
it,
that's
it-
one thing I want to put out there. So the reason why the customer doesn't have to pay for these appointments and for the consultation or for any of my services is because I am compensated by the insurance companies. But that is also why a lot of seniors get phone calls nonstop because there's a lot of agents out there that are just trying to get a paycheck and trying to get a commission rather than being a consultant and helping the client, right? And so that's why, I try to be as non-biased as possible and make sure that my customer is getting the help that they need, right? And so, yeah, if you give me a call, one thing I will tell you is I will not pressure you one way or another to make a choice. If the plan that you have is the best plan for you, that's exactly what I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, and I'll show that to you as well. So it won't just be my words, it'll be you actually seeing, the different plans.
okay, now when people meet with you, do they meet with you on the phone, on Zoom, in person?
All of
What's
the above. So
all the
whatever is
above?
more comfortable for the client, if they want to meet in person, that's perfectly fine. I do a lot of Zoom appointments and I also do a lot of appointments over the phone. I'm licensed in the whole state of Michigan. So there are some places I can't, do in-person appointments with. But yes, I'm available. If I can drive to you, then I'll do a in-person appointment. But the Zoom and over the phone are typically going to be the route that a lot of people take, but I'm comfortable with all three.
All right,
Yeah,
fantastic. Wow, what a great guest. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
absolutely. I appreciate
And
your time as well.
yeah, and I appreciate you answering how this works because I know what Carolyn Maringer does is the same, but she's like you. She's unbiased when she's helping people find living
Yeah,
situations that crop up. So we
yeah.
appreciate you answering that without answering. And You did pick a scripture for today, and I hope a lot of people
Yes,
contact you. Sue's gonna go ahead and do the ending here. You can stick with us and hear the scripture, and then we're gonna do our
okay,
ending announcements. Thank you so much, Michael.
absolutely,
It's been a
absolutely.
pleasure.
Michael picked Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, which says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." This scripture is part of Jesus's Sermon on the Mount, and that's where he teaches his disciples about the importance of seeking God's kingdom above all else. The implication is that if we prioritize God and his will in our lives, everything else we need will be provided for us.
So
Absolutely.
perfect. So
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Thank-
I love it.
Thanks again, Michael. You have a great day.
Thank you. You all have a wonderful day.
Alrighty.
Bye. And if you would like to understand and learn more about the good news of Jesus Christ, please be sure to join Pastor Tim for devotions. That's live at a new time of 9:30 Monday through Thursday, and that's on Facebook. And join us Sundays at 10 a.m. for worship. It is live streamed on Facebook and YouTube or in person in our sanctuary in Allen Park, Michigan. If you would like to be a guest with us, like Michael was today, it's a Friday of your choice. Just let us know. We hope you'll join us for the next Good News Live at 9. And remember, we're scheduling guests through January. And remember, you are a beloved child of God. God loves you, and so do we.
Thank you, everyone. And don't forget, if you joined late, you can watch this on YouTube or rewatch this on Facebook. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you at game night or at church on Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.